conversation to be had that will be bonkers.
Not really.
Why not really?
Right now, he's the second best in Dallas Maverick history, only because of the championship. Now, if he wins one, you could put him in that conversation with Dirk. He ain't over here yet.
Since entering the NBA in 2018, Luka Doncic has cemented himself as one of the league's most dynamic and groundbreaking talents. With his elite scoring, uncanny court vision, and the ability to deliver triple-doubles on any given night, Luka stands out as a generational talent who continues to redefine what it means to be a superstar. His rise began in Europe, where he dominated for Real Madrid and became the youngest EuroLeague MVP in history. Since joining the Dallas Mavericks, Luka has earned multiple first-team All-NBA selections and led his team to the NBA Finals. Despite his brilliance, Luka's ball-dominant style and leadership have sparked discussion among NBA legends. Some praise his unmatched skill set, while others question if he can lead a team to a championship. But now, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, has broken his silence on Luka Doncic, and what he said might just shift the narrative.
That's 100% his prime, because you got to stay been playing pro since 16. Right now, he's 25. He's in the middle of his prime. Right.
Despite being one of the brightest stars in the NBA, Luka Doncic has faced his share of criticism. Even after leading the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals, critics have questioned his conditioning, defense, and on-court demeanor, arguing that these flaws hold him back from being considered the best player in the world. But Charles Barkley sees Luka in a very different light, offering a perspective that stands out from the noise. What Barkley had to say might just change how you view Luka entirely. Yeah, I know you see how quick they turned on Luka in the finals, Barkley said. I said all season in the finals, and then after Game 1 and Game 2, they're like, Luka can't play any defense. He's the reason the Celtics are up 2-zip, 3-zip. I'm like, wait a minute. He's the only reason they're in the finals. The criticism surrounding Luka Doncic has undoubtedly gone too far. He entered last season in the best shape of his career and started off on fire, but nagging injuries slowed him down as the season progressed. Even so, he managed to lead the Mavericks on an improbable postseason run. When fully healthy, there's no question Doncic belongs in the conversation as one of the greatest players in the NBA. Allen Iverson is widely regarded as one of the most transcendent talents in NBA history. Known for his ball-dominant style, AI mastered creating his own shot, whether with his killer crossover or by finishing at the rim. Much like Luka Doncic, Iverson was a clutch playoff performer who could elevate his team when it mattered most.
Yeah, these are slow, unathletic players that are like moving at a different pace, right? We're athletic and moving fast. They just slow down.
In his 2001 MVP season, he carried a flawed Philadelphia team to the NBA Finals, cementing his legacy as a generational talent. Today, Iverson remains in awe of Luka, even naming him as the one player he'd most like to play with. He believes Luka's size and skill set would make them an unguardable backcourt duo. One of today's players I would want to play with is Luka, Iverson said. He's a big point guard. I can still play the two. He can guard the two, I guard the one, you know what I mean? And I think it'll just be deadly. LeBron James, widely regarded as the best player of his generation, knows the immense pressure of being a highly touted prospect. After surpassing sky-high expectations since 2003, LeBron sees clear parallels between his own journey and Luka Doncic's rise. He has closely followed Luka's career and remains impressed by how the young star has handled the spotlight and high expectations. LeBron believes Luka's game stands out for its versatility and ability to elevate those around him. What he said next about Luka's talent and mindset provides a glimpse into why LeBron holds him in such high regard. Because I love everything about his game, love everything about him. The way he plays the game reminds me of the way I play the game. We're just triple threats. We rebound, we pass, which is the number one thing on our mind, trying to keep our teammates engaged and keep our teammates feeling good out on the floor, keeping our teammates in rhythm. And we'll put 40 on you too if you disrespect us. Dirk Nowitzki was Luka Doncic's teammate during Luka's rookie season, which also marked the end of Dirk's legendary career. As a European star who thrived in Dallas, Dirk has always had high praise for Luka. Their shared time as Mavericks created a special bond, and Dirk couldn't be happier that Dallas fans now have another generational talent to cheer for. Beyond their time as teammates, Dirk is an admirer of Luka's game, often noting his incredible offensive versatility and rapid improvements since entering the league. What Dirk said about Luka perfectly captures why he believes Doncic is destined for greatness. "Man, I'm so mad he's breaking every one of my records. It's over. No, I'm thrilled for him, obviously. I got to know him. My last year was his first year in the league. It was just great to see him, get to know him a little bit, and I think we saw then in year one that this guy's the limit for him. But I honestly didn't think he could go there. I mean, the way he has no offensive holes in his game, he can do it all. He can shoot the step back, he can go both ways, he can post, he's got the mid-range, he's got the floater, he's got all the horse shots. I mean, he's got the full package, and he's been tremendous to watch every year. I'm saying this kid can possibly get better, and then sure enough, next year comes back with more in his repertoire. It's been incredible to watch his first couple years in the league get better, and hopefully Mavs fans enjoy him for a long, long time in his prime. Gilbert Arenas was one of the most explosive scorers in the NBA, capable of putting up points in bunches when he got hot. Since retiring, Arenas has become one of the league's most outspoken commentators, often stirring up controversy with his bold takes on his podcast. Arenas isn't afraid to make sweeping statements about players that spark debate in NBA circles. When it comes to Luka Doncic, Arenas has offered one of his most contentious opinions yet. He argues that Luka shouldn't be compared to Michael Jordan or even James Harden. According to Arenas, Luka's lack of defensive prowess disqualifies him from being mentioned alongside Jordan, who was dominant on both ends of the floor. Arenas also questions Luka's offensive game, claiming it doesn't measure up to Harden's ball-dominant scoring style. Ultimately, Arenas believes Luka still has a long way to go before entering the conversation for all-time greatness, showing just how divided opinions on Luka Doncic can be among former NBA stars. And then you have Luka over here, who's compared to Michael Jordan, and he's James Harden. He's literally James Harden, right? A dude who scored a lot of points, but didn't play defense, right? But we see what they did to James Harden, who didn't play defense. They let the world know he didn't play defense. They let the world know he was a one-sided player. This is all he does. He's just a stat keeper. Luka is considered the next Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan who played defense and offense. We have one side where we like all one-sided. Well, we know what that looks like. That's James Harden. Can he say he's better than James Harden at scoring? Can't even do that. They can't even argue that he's a better scorer than James Harden in that same category, but he's considered the next Michael Jordan. Luka Doncic is set to become eligible for a massive contract extension next offseason, potentially worth upwards of $346 million. If he continues to dominate the league through the end of the decade, he could be earning over $100 million per year thanks to the new TV deal, and the cap projected to soar by 2031. A standard Supermax contract allocates 35% of the salary cap to a player, and with the NBA's cap expected to exceed $300 million by 2032, Doncic's earning potential is unprecedented. Considering these staggering figures, Shaquille O'Neal, known for his financial savvy, shared some valuable advice for Luka during an episode of The Pat McAfee Show. What Shaq had to say offers a fascinating perspective on Luka's future. Luka's about to get the $100 million, right, Pat? Yes, sir. If I was him, I would just say, okay, just pay me $20 million this year and defer that $80 million. Just defer it to when I'm done playing. I mean, because, that $80 million is not going to really be that $80 million after the taxes. But I would say just pay me $20 million and the other $80 after taxes. Just put it away. I don't want to see it till I'm 35. Shaquille O'Neal famously burned through his first NBA contract in about 30 minutes, but has since become a savvy businessman, investing in countless ventures and becoming a fixture in commercials across industries. While Luka Doncic takes a more selective approach to his investments, taking Shaq's advice and deferring some of that money could prove to be a smart long-term strategy. During Steve Nash's tenure as coach for the Brooklyn Nets, he encountered difficulties making strategies to contain Luka Doncic. This challenge reached its peak in March 2022 when Luka exploded for 49 points against the Nets. With just 22 seconds remaining, Luka drained a crucial go-ahead shot. Kevin Durant then tied the game with 8 seconds left, setting the stage for a decisive possession. Knowing the Mavericks would rely on Luka, the Nets attempted to stop him at every turn. Despite their efforts, they left Spencer Dinwiddie open for a three-point attempt. Luka, demonstrating his exceptional court vision, found Dinwiddie over the double team, sealing the victory for the Mavericks. Reflecting on the game, Steve Nash highlighted the attributes that he believes distinguish Luka from his peers. I just think it's his feel for the game, coupled with his size. He's able to use his size to get free, and that feel for how to get people off balance and how to spray the ball or how to score the strong ball. The connection between Luka and the Joker has made the two become best friends, always joking around with one another off the court, but competing hard when it is game time. Their relationship is something to behold. Two extremely passionate basketball players who have a totally different way of showcasing their love for the game. Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic are going to be the faces of the league for years to come. After a Denver Nuggets win over Luka's Mavericks, the Joker was asked about what he enjoys most about Luka's game, to which Nikola replied, "When we beat him and I can make fun of him." He followed it up with a bit more serious comment. He's my good friend, and it's always nice to play against him. That's probably the most you are going to get out of the Joker, as he probably dislikes being around the media even more than he enjoys playing basketball. Kevin Garnett was one of the toughest and nastiest hoopers to ever play in the NBA. He was an NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, a 15-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA player, and a member of the NBA's 75th anniversary team. He gained respect from his opponents and demanded high-level play from his teammates, earning the reputation for being a great leader and a demanding teammate. In his post-playing career, KG has been an outspoken analyst, unafraid to criticize some current players, yet vocal in his praise for others. In Luka, KG sees one of the most special talents to ever come into the NBA. Garnett shouts out Luka's maturity and his ability to read the court and pick apart a defense with passing. Every single night, Luka draws the other team's best defender, and every single night, he comes to play and puts up big numbers, Garnett said. As one of the best defensive players of his era, I know what it takes to do what Luka is doing, and I'm impressed. I love Luka's pace. I love Luka's maturity. You see his maturity. You see how he's been playing with older men or older people in his life. You see it. He's not afraid of anything in the league. He goes against some of the best defenders the same way and makes them look like they're not that great of defenders. He has a pace, you can't speed him up, and he's figured out the league. Paul Pierce was Kevin Garnett's teammate in Boston when the duo won the NBA championship in 2008. Like KG, Pierce has also been a vocal commentator since he retired from his playing career. In Luka, Pierce sees a fierce competitor and a winner. Pierce says that he expects special things from Doncic in the future because he is the most talented player in the league. He's the most skilled player in the game today. We know he's not the most athletic, but when we talk about pure skill, Luka has to be number one. Pierce said, his ability to shoot, pass, dribble, create space, post up, and do everything on the offensive end at his size is something we haven't seen before. He reminds me of Larry Bird with more handle.